What's going on, guys? It is not Wednesday. If you guys don't know, what day it is, and I know seeing my face normally not on Wednesday, it's probably throwing you off, but it is Thursday, 7:30. We're doing a special night because we have a special guest tonight. Really excited about having him on. Somebody I met over at LA Comic Con, and yeah, I'm really excited. So I don't want to babble on too much. We'll talk to him and we'll babble on through there. Right now, let's get through our normal thing, which is, of course, starting off with our affiliates. Man, that's a lot of me in this screen. I gotta fix that. Let's fix that. There we go. We don't want to see that much of me, but let's give a shout out to, let's bring that up. As always, I'm 100% professionally prepared and all that other stuff, but boom, Ulanzi. They're a great company. A lot of the lights. So the lights that are in front of me, and they're now off to the side, giving that really cool glow. All Ulanzi lights. I have a frame that actually covers my camera that is Ulanzi. Great company. They create a lot of great things when it comes to filming for videographers and photographers. So check them out. We have an affiliate code that is on our link tree. Go on there. Check them out. They're great. Next, we've got the Roosevelts. I wish I could say I'm wearing one of their shirts right now, but actually, this is actually a lot better shirt. I'm sorry. But anyways, great shirts, guys. Button-up shirts. They've got great, it's like got a nice stretch to them and everything. And they've got a lot of great IPs. They've got Disney, they got Universal, they've got Marvel, they've got all kinds of different things. They've got actually some really cool Back to the Future. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. They've got a really cool Back to the Future shirts. And I know they've done they did Ghostbusters, which I bring it up because we have a guest on. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's something you guys should check out. Check out their stuff. It's on, and always remember, it's not spelled out Roosevelts. It's RSVLTS.com, and it means the Roosevelts. So go to their website, check them out. They got a lot of great things on there. I really do like their shirts. They're just not made for somebody like me. I need one that's, I don't know. Anyways, we don't need to go into it. Next, we've got Wild Bill's Craft Old-Fashioned Craft Sodas. If you guys have ever been to a con, and I'm talking like LA Comic Con, WonderCon, all those cons, these guys are there. They've got it looks like a chuck wagon that's set up, and you buy a cup, which I have right here, one of these cups from them, and they're really nice cups. Man, I really like this cup. I don't really use that one often, but I have others. And you can fill it up all day long for $7 at the con. Great sodas, a lot of great flavors. At LA Comic Con, they debuted strawberry cream, which I was like, I'm not a big fan of strawberry, but it was actually really good. Shocked the heck out of me, I know. But yeah, check them out. Go to their website at wildbillssoda.com and order your case there and also your cup. Next, we have another affiliate of ours, which is Renegade Game Studios. These guys have some pretty awesome games, a lot of great IPs again. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, My Little Pony, all kinds of really cool RPGs, plus deck building games. I have one of them in the back. It's sitting right here because for right now, that's where it goes because I don't have anybody to play with. But I have tried it. It is a really cool deck building game. So check them out. Their affiliate code, again, is in our link tree that is on our Instagram. Click on that. When you purchase from them, it helps us out and all that other great stuff. So moving on away from that, next we want to talk about, there we go. We want to talk about Project Wish Upon a Star. Really cool people. If you're at the cons, they're selling like little snack bags like this. This one's from LA Comic Con. Great charity. They help out a lot of pediatric cancer patients. They like to bring them out to the cons. Right now, they're looking for somebody to bring out to Ontario Revolution, which is going to be happening right here in my neighborhood. And you know what sucks? I don't get to go. Why? I got training. But they will be there. You guys can go over there. If you see them, let them know I sent you and tell them that Eugene says hi, and they will shake your hand and say thank you. That's about the extent. But donate to them. We have a link in our link tree also. Look them up. Really great people. Darren, Veronica, I love them. They're awesome. They helped us out with one of the biggest cons for us, and they're more than happy to help us out more. So help them out. Let's not have them put take out of their pocket for this cool stuff. Let's help them out to donate to them, purchase their stuff. So there you go. That and of course, us. Where can you find us? And, you may be asking that. Where can we find you guys? Well, right at the bottom of the screen, you'll see right there. It is all the Geek Saga at Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. The list goes on of places you can find us. Find us anywhere on social media. Type in that the Geek Saga, and you'll find us. And also check out our website at thegeeksaga.com. So that is it. I made it through in 6 minutes. Damn, David's not here to be able to see that. I'm pretty bummed. I actually went through that pretty quick. I'm very impressed. I impressed myself. I know it's not that hard to impress me, but I did. What's going on? Hey guys. Oh, yeah. Hey, check. So this new wonderful Voltron shirt, if you guys want this Voltron shirt, one of our smaller sponsors, and sometimes I don't mention them, I should, but Riot Collectibles, they are now throwing stuff at me, which I'm really excited. There we go. So wearable fandom, hit me up. I could hook you up with one of these. They've also got a really cool Transformers one, which is Optimus Prime. He's running like this, and he's with the Transformer logo, and I'll be wearing that soon. I'll be posting that up. And also they have our shirts, but all that has to go through me first because we haven't gotten their website set up, but we will. But thanks for noticing the shirt. Yeah, I really like this. I'm all about this stuff. But so enough of me babbling on, guys. Let's, like I said, I got to meet our next guest at LA Comic Con. It was really cool to be able to talk to him. And he then talked me into buying the comics, which I'm glad he did, because the and I'm going to hold up two of these. I have the other ones are inside my house. Actually, I've been spending money on comics all over again ever since LA Comic Con. But this right here, and I keep talking about this, Kanto. I can't say enough about this comic. I have the other one here too. These are the two that I keep showing everybody. I absolutely love these comics. It's a huge throwback to the stories of old. And the best way he described it to me was, you take Labyrinth, Wizard of Oz, an adventure story, and wrap it up all into one. And there's a love story in it too. And that's Kanto. So the writing's amazing. The artwork's amazing. And I got to talk to this gentleman at LA Comic Con for a little bit. And I said, I got to have you back on here with us. I've picked up his other comics, which is Saturday Morning Adventures, Dungeons & Dragons. I have both issues that are out right now. And I think the other one is sitting in my box at We Can Be Heroes. I've been picking up all his comics, so I'm really excited. And the latest one, which is Ghostbusters, but I'm going to let him talk about that one. So without further ado, Mr. Robinson, let's bring in our guest. So go for it, Mr. Robinson.
Who could that be? Let's see. This is how you answer a door in
Geek Saga.
Who is it? Come on!
David Booher, what's going on? Look at that. That thing looks awesome. That cover is actually really good.
Didn't they kill it with the covers? And then this one, we'll talk all about it, but this one, rumor has it, it was the final scene that got cut out of Afterlife. It's Trevor and the family towing the Ecto-1 back to New York. So, hey, I'm so glad to be here. It's so exciting. You took me down memory lane all the way back to last fall in LA Comic Con. I loved it.
It was, you know what? It was a real pleasure to meet you. And every time I mention you, my daughter, who was there with me and who was the one that was holding the camera, she's like, "Oh, you're going to have him on?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to have him on." She's like, "I really like his comic too." Because I let her read my issues.
You should have let her host it. You should have let her host the show.
I can't have her host the show. She'll steal the show. I can't do that. She's already
100%. It's like, smash that like and subscribe button, people. We're going to get her on.
Oh my gosh. I I'm gonna do something I never do, but she was just in a production of Frozen Junior, and she literally stole the show as
Like
Anna.
Chili.
Oh,
Called
I
Chili.
was, huh?
It's called Chili.
It's called, yes, it's called Chili.
It's just a
It's
little cold outside.
Frozen Junior is actually AKA Chili. There we go.
Chili.
But she was
That's
great.
amazing.
And yeah, so I don't want her to steal my show. I like my show, so we're
And
gonna keep
I'm
it up
sure
there.
she would prefer that you didn't run up on stage and try to steal her show. So we'll keep them separate. It's cool. It's cool. We're all good.
I was close. I was close when she was up there singing. There was one song with Hans, and man, I'm about to say something that everyone's gonna be like laughing at me. But in the car when she was younger, because she was a lot, I think it was 2013, so several years ago. She was a little kid. She wanted to hear that song, so we would do duets.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That melts even the coldest heart.
Yeah, well, most people say that this heart's pretty solid, so
There you go.
I guess there's a little chink in it.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I'm excited to be on for a full hour talking about how amazing your daughter is. So let's do this.
No. Let's move away from that because we're here for you and all the amazing books that you've written. So let's start with what is on that docket of books that you've written as far as comics.
Oh boy. So you
That's a
covered a
long
couple of them. Most recently, Ghostbusters came out this week, came out yesterday, and I was very excited. We did a big event. We Can Be Heroes in Chatsworth, California, which is Southern California area. We had the LA Ghostbusters there, and they brought an Ecto Foxtrot, which is an FJ Cruiser that is officially licensed as an Ecto. I got a photo
cool.
op in the driver's seat of Ecto Foxtrot with Ecto goggles and a PKE meter. We were busting ghosts. They had a working containment unit with a working trap that would open and smoke would come out. They put the trap inside, and when the light turns green, the trap is clean, and it all operated. They had Zool and Clotho, the dogs, Gozer's minions. They had both of them there. We had voices, or we had the puppeteers and actors for 3 Slimers. Technically, I think 4 Slimers. Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and then we had the actor who did the puppeteering for Stay Puft.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we had a 14-foot tall, it was probably 14 feet, portrait of Vigo the Carpathian, and he had a Carpathian kitten, so he behaved himself the whole time. I posted all of the photos and everything on my Instagram, and if you can't tell, I was completely geeking out for 6 hours while we were there. I just, what is this my life now? And I loved every single second of it because we'll get on the Ghostbusters rabbit hole because I was
Let's go for it.
Let's do it. Let's go into that portal. Let's see what's on the other side.
Yep.
I was such a huge I was a Ghostbusters fan when I was a kid. I watched Ghostbusters 2 as my jam because that was like right at the right age for me. I watched the real Ghostbusters cartoon after school. I watched it on Saturday morning while I ate the Ghostbusters cereal. I think I had slime. I think I had some of the toys. I loved Ghostbusters. So when Dark Horse came and asked if I wanted to do it, I was like, if there are children, old people in my way, I will push them down to get this job. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Yeah, so it's been kind of a dream come true for that release.
That's cool. You've already seen the movie, correct? Because I saw a post from Instagram.
Yeah, so I saw it a couple weeks ago.
You had to be
shout out to Ghost Corps because Ghost Corps is amazing. Ghost Corps is the company that basically handles Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And I was able to, make a couple of buddies over there through the comic and sort of working on the creative process of that. And I got the opportunity to go to Sony into one of the buildings that was one of the oldest buildings on the lot into a basement screening room. And before I went in, they're like, oh, just be aware that this basement is supposed to be haunted. So I watched the on-screen ghosts next to the IRL ghosts on the Sony lot. So like this, it just gets better and better. I just love. You can see why I love it, right? Because this is like fanboy paradise right here.
You are truly living that fanboy dream right now, that life that all of us that are doing this little stuff like this would just love
This
to
is
be a
not
part of.
little stuff. This is fantastic. Yeah, but it's just like you gotta whenever you get the chance to do something like this, you just have to embrace it and sort of be in the
Oh,
moment. I think a lot of people want to go out and like do post on social media and I did all that stuff, but that was like after the fact coming down. I wasn't worried about like I'm not gonna live stream at this event. I'm gonna meet people, talk to people, take the photos, and just live in that moment because I don't know if it'll ever come again. We'll see what happens from here. But I hope this isn't it. But if this is it, what a way to go, right?
oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So I did that. The other comic that actually came out yesterday was Dungeons and Dragons issue number 3. This is Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventures, which again you'll start seeing a theme about stuff that I stories that I want to tell because the Saturday Morning Adventures is based on the D&D cartoon from the 80s. And if folks who are listening, if you don't remember this, it was about the group of teenagers who went on the roller coaster at the amusement park. They went through the tunnel for the D&D ride and got into a portal, and they ended up on the other side in what we now know as the Forgotten Realms. They each got their weapon. Dungeon Master gave them each a little weapon, gave them each a little role. They became an adventuring party. And this cartoon went on for like 3 seasons. I surprising no one. I loved this cartoon when I was a kid. I loved it. I loved every second of it. So when IDW asked if I wanted to do that, wanted to do D&D, and I said, well, I don't really have a lot of experience with D&D, so maybe I'm not the right person. And he said, oh, it's based on the cartoon. And I was like, if there are little kids, if there are old people in front of me, I will push them down to get this job. So it came from such a place of love and passion and fandom for these characters. Um, and that's really sort of the theme of work that I take is just making sure that I am passionate about the story so that will come through in the final product. Because I think you can tell we're all savvy enough as readers and consumers to tell when somebody's heart isn't fully into a story that they're telling.
Yeah.
So that's sort of
Yeah.
my guiding light, and that's why I've done those 2 projects most recently.
I see your Hank in the background, and then I also see uh right that.
Dungeon
Yep.
Master,
And I see Dungeon
Dungeon Master,
Master
and
and
Avenger, Hank.
yeah, Avenger. And who else
Avenger's
you
right
got?
here. You
Yep.
see him? Dungeon
And
Master.
if you look over my shoulder, I have
Yeah,
my Hank, and I have oh my gosh,
Sheila.
no, I'm drawing the blank on the barbarian's name.
Bobby.
Bobby and Uni, right next
Bobby
to
and Uni. I got
right next
yeah,
to
and this
giant dragon skull that my wife picked up for me.
I I had the chance in the story arc to actually do a lot of nice character work with Bobby and Sheila, brother and sister, sort of growing up. You take the second, so I did 2 story arcs. I did the first one and then the second one, and the second one sort of takes place several some time has passed, right? And they're
Mhm.
growing up. They're not these young kids anymore. And Bobby's sort of growing into his own, and he has this club, this magical club that's really powerful. So he's starting to look around and sort of making his choices on his own and decisions on his own. And sometimes it gets him in trouble. And Sheila's like, "You are going to hurt yourself, and I can't live with that. So I'm going to be the overprotective older sister." Meanwhile, Bobby is like, I am old enough to do these things on my own now. And so it's that conflict that eventually comes to a head in the context of a Luskin pirate story, which I loved. So
And that, you know what? I've I've been reading the comic, like I said. I actually have issue number 3 that's waiting for me at Heroes. We Can Be Heroes, which I can't pick up till next week, so I'm kind of bummed because I want to keep going on the book. And I
sure.
love, I when I'm reading this, I feel like you're saying, time's passed, but it's still the same adventure that I'm feeling that I had when I was a kid watching this cartoon. Except now these guys are older, and I'm like, oh, okay. I really like the story, how it's flowing. It's a great comic. Yeah, if you guys aren't picking these things up, get out there, find all 3 issues right now, and start reading them.
Yeah, and
Um,
I did a first story arc, which was 4 issues, and that was a lot of fun. We got to go to Waterdeep, and
oh
they
yeah,
got ended up getting trapped inside of a monastery. Basically, it was like a totally blanking on the word, but it was like a tribute to I can't remember what the god is now, but in game god and religion, they got trapped inside of this sort of church like place, and they had to figure out their way out, and they had to help the person who was in there, and things aren't what they seem. So that was a lot of fun to do as well, and that's all collected now into a trade.
I got to track that one down. Well, I know I'm pretty sure I can grab it from the same comic store that I keep going to.
Right.
Did you see the movie Den of Thieves
Honor Among Thieves, yeah, I
or
saw
Honor
it.
Among Thieves? Yeah,
Um, yes, and I loved it. Uh, can we spoiler alert?
it's been out forever. Yeah, this spoiler alert. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, mute if you haven't seen it because this is such a great moment that the trailers didn't spoil it. Nothing. First of all, the cartoon, the cartoon party shows up in the movie live
I love
action, which
that.
was fabulous that they did
Yep.
that. But then my favorite part and the choice that just put it over the top for me was the dragon scene.
Yes.
It's like, so if you haven't seen it and you're still listening, this dragon, you know how dragon they like hoard treasure, right? Well, this dragon has been laying around so long and like probably eating this treasure. It's so fat that it can't move around. So it's a dragon chase with this gigantic fat dragon that's just rolling around, and it is just gold. It's gold. I loved it.
That whole scene was just, yeah, it kind of already the movie was going good, and then they bring in this fat dragon, and it's just like you're just laughing at the whole time because they're trying to get away from this thing, but it's like they got time.
Somehow, yeah.
Some, it's a great movie, and I love that little Easter egg of bringing in the cartoon party into the movie. I was just like, I'm sold. This is good.
And I
I hope they
appreciate
do
the
another one.
filmmakers during that scene where there's several different parties in the maze, and they definitely caused the other parties had their own demises, but they protected the cartoon characters, which I loved. We're
Yep,
like, we're not going to do anything bad. We're just going to show them and then protect them.
that's great. That was great too. If they would have killed him off, it would have felt like Transformers, the cartoon movie, all over again, where they killed Optimus Prime, and you're just like, my childhood is over. That was it.
Thank you for protecting my childhood, filmmakers.
So you've got so many great comics that you've worked on, and again, it is, and you can tell when you read the comic that it is a labor of love that's put into it, because it does. And a lot of these comics, aside from Kanto, a lot of them are like nostalgic for us, and it
Hey,
keeps.
Kanto is
Oh,
you.
I mean, yeah, the way you described it, it is nostalgic because it brings back that feel of, like you told me in the first time, Labyrinth and Wizard of
Dark
Oz,
Crystal.
Dark Crystal, and all this is just wrapped up into it. And like I said, I loved it. I got home and I read through the first book, and I don't normally go through
It's a
like
quick read.
it
It's a
is.
quick read.
Well, not for me. I'm a little slow on
That's why we
military.
put in so many pictures. We knew, Eugene. We knew.
Yeah, and oh, the artwork's amazing to go along with it. Like,
Yeah, Drew Zucker is the artist on Kanto. If you're not familiar with Kanto, I'm gonna hold a little example up on the screen. This is our little Clockwork Knight.
He's
We did
it's such
some figures like this. This is him in golds. But anyway, he's a clockwork knight in search of a heart. His people have been enslaved. They're not allowed to have names. They're not allowed to love one another. When they were taken, their hearts were removed and replaced with clocks. So when their time is up, that's it. But Kanto, he defies every one of those rules. He has a name, and he loves this little clockwork girl. But when her clock gets damaged beyond repair, he's got to go out in that great big fantastical world of his that he's never seen before. Think that labyrinth, dark crystal, never-ending story. And he's got to go and find where they've taken their hearts to bring hers back to save her. So I like to say it's part fantasy, part adventure, and all heart. There you are.
and it's a great
I
story.
I was such a huge fan. I was an 80s kid. Um, so I was born in 79, which put, my childhood. I was 7 years old in 1986 when the first Nintendo came out. I was 10 when Batman 89 came out, and I was 9 when Beetlejuice came out. Um, so all of those movies from the 80s have stuck with me. And I thought Kanto was our opportunity to kind of bring that darkish fantasy, all ages kids vibe back to, present day, back to now. And so
Yeah.
it's got a little edge to it, but it's also very hopeful, and he's very courageous and he helps other people. He's very selfless. But it's bringing back those 80s fantasy vibes that we really wanted to do. And I'm happy to say that I think it's folks have really connected with it, sort of like what you're talking about, Eugene, because we're actually 23 issues in, and we're with Dark Horse as a publisher, and we are publishing everything, republishing all of the initial 23 issues in hardcover volumes. So there's going to be 4 of them, and now we're publishing brand new. The final story arc, the 5th story arc and final story arc for the Shrouded Man saga, which think of it like the Lord of the Rings cycle. So this is
Nice.
going to be our Return of the King. And then we'll see what happens after that. But you'll have your beautiful 5 hardcovers to put on your shelf.
I'm gonna have to get the. I know that you had posted up that Barnes and Nobles was going to be carrying those, and that there was a pre-order for that.
Yeah, so if you're a Barnes & Noble member, they were given a discount on it, but every major bookseller is Dark Horse is really pushing it out there. So Barnes & Noble, Amazon, your local comic shop, your local indie bookshop, indie bookshops here in Southern California, it's Romans, and they just announced that they're shutting they couldn't renew the lease, so they're shutting one of their places down. So go shop at indie bookstores, and if they don't have it, they definitely can order it. So all you have to do is ask for Kanto from Dark Horse, and they will provide it.
Is that the Romans that's over in what is that, Foothill?
Yeah, Hastings Ranch, the Romans
Hastings
there
Ranch.
is.
That the one
They're shutting down, unfortunately. But the Romans that's on Colorado in Pasadena is still there, and it's a
Oh, that's
great
good.
bookstore. But I guarantee who is ever listening to us right now, wherever you are, there's a bookstore within 60 minutes of you that would be happy to sell you books.
Oh yeah. So you mentioned, and I know I got you for a limited time. So I thought, since you mentioned Beetlejuice of all things, I thought
What did I
maybe
mention?
you mentioned Beetlejuice.
And what was that name?
I'm not going to say it again because I don't need him popping up already. Because if he does, then it's just all bad. We all know that.
Trouble.
But I thought, you know what? Why not see if you'd like to help us out? And it's our segment that we like to do, which is This Week in Geek History. Seeing how you're as much of a nostalgic geek as I am, and you're literally a year behind me. So we grew up.
Oh, good.
We grew up throughout that whole time. The 80s it's still to this day my thing. And I get so much flack from all the younger soldiers that I work with and deal with, because those guys are like, what's that? When I bring up like,
what are the 80s?
Yeah. I talk about Knight Rider or I talk about the A-Team, and I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Your parents have failed you.
Yeah.
Because,
and also, first of all, you said their parents, which is horrifying, because we could have 20-year-olds in the Army right now. And second of all, when these kids are like, "Yeah, Foo Fighters." Oh, so you want to listen to oldies?
That hurts. That hurts the
I'm
heart when I
sorry.
hear that.
What?
Well, it's
I hope we
sad that
do. Yeah.
I listen to Jack Radio, which since you're in the LA area, you know Jack FM, and they
I don't know
play
Jack, man. I don't know
oh,
Jack.
but they play all the and they call it the old stuff from back in the day. And it's like it's not old. Don't say that
So
it's
I
old.
grew up, yeah, I grew up in Ohio, outside of Cleveland, and there was a radio station called WMJI. And when I was growing up, it was the oldie station, and they would play 60s music and some 70s music. And I recently went back there. So that was like the 80s. So they're playing 20-year-old music, so from the 60s. I
Yeah.
recently went back there and they were playing like In Sync and like Britney Spears and I, I was just like, oh, how is this? How is this reality? But this is where we live. This is the hill I will die on because I will never forget the long live the 80s. So that's where we are.
I will hold the 80s in my heart till the very end and how great it
There will be
was.
no room for anything else
Nope. But that's
except the
okay
80s.
because it was a great time for us. But with us moving into our segment, and I have a special guest to follow us into this segment, which did I make sure I got all my pictures right because I've done that before. But whatever, we're moving into and David, hold on to your ears because this segment gets a little loud as we roll into it. But
We're
it's
going.
all right. This week in Geek History, and I gotta fix this up. Wait, one more time. Nope, almost there. There we go. It's been a while since
I don't play. I you hid me behind Alfred Hitchcock, and that was the only acceptable thing to do.
Well, I mean, Alfred Hitchcock is just amazing. And I didn't mean to hide you behind it, but so
No, that's good.
this week in Geek History, back in 1963, which most of you guys and wouldn't know what this movie is, but The Birds. David, you remember this movie, I'm sure.
No, I mean, I fortunately,
You've never
I did
seen it?
not see it when it premiered.
Oh no, of course
I
not.
have seen
Neither
it
did I.
fairly recently, probably within the last 10 years. I saw it again, and I was fascinated because it's such a slow burn movie. Everybody remembers the birds attacking, but it really
Mhm.
doesn't end up happening until very late in the movie. So it's just a fascinating slice of what movies were like, which it's now 60 years ago, and
Yeah.
what how audiences have changed and how viewing has changed.
Yeah, because this movie seriously was terrifying. And even me as a kid watching this, because they showed it on my local KTLA, and that was Channel 5 for LA people, they would show this movie like often. And this
Uh-huh.
movie, even as a kid, scared the crap out of me. But like as a kid, I don't remember that slow burn up to when finally the birds were attacking. Like that's all I remember was the stupid birds coming at me. And whenever I was at school, if I saw them up on like that, the picture right there, up on all the jungle gym, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna go play over there. That's a no-go. But a little bit of trivia for you if you didn't know this, but this movie was actually based on a novella. It was based on a little book.
Who wrote the novella?
It was Daphne, and I'm gonna butcher her name because I butcher everybody's name. Daphne Demure.
Oh,
So
Daphne. I think it's du Maurier, and
Du Maurier.
and I think she wrote Rebecca. But please book explain me, chat, if I'm wrong about that. But I think Daphne du Maurier was a famous author. So that was something I did not know.
I didn't know she was that famous. We both learned something today. But this movie followed Hitchcock's Psycho. So this came right after that. And I don't know if you ever watched, he actually had his own TV show that
I was
it was.
correct, by the way. I just Googled it.
Oh, really?
100% she wrote Rebecca. So yeah.
Nice.
Don't come at me in the comments, folks.
Yeah, you guys, back off. He knows what he's talking about. I don't, but he does. So this was a great movie, and of course, we all know the birds attack homegirl right there that's running, and she freaks out and she goes crazy. And yeah. So moving on to the next movie. So we're coming up in time. We're going into 1999. I shifted things around, but Futurama. How about this one, Dave?
I love Futurama more than. Oh my god, I love it so much. It's funny. The new. Have you been watching the new episodes?
I have not. I haven't.
But it's kind of it's lost a step for me. With the newest stuff, but boy, I just love. This is one of those shows that I'll put on in the background while I'm working and just like watch it from episode 1 all the way through to the end.
Oh, I do the same thing with this show. At one point, this was the TV show that I would put on when I'm laying in bed and like just settling down, and I would fall asleep to because I loved this show. I had all the seasons on DVD. That's how much I loved it. Which, yeah, those of you guys that don't know what a DVD is, it is around. It's circular. It's, you have to put it in a machine. I know you guys don't.
Google it.
Yeah. There you go.
Google it.
Oh God, it sounds so weird saying that.
I know, but you're going to have to buy DVDs, all you children who are listening, because your digital content is going to disappear. There's going to be a renaissance of physical media, and you're going to have a library just like we had. Just a fun little fact: if I ever got famous enough that I demanded some sort of memorial to me, it would be a 140-foot tall statue that shoots fire out of its mouth that yells out, "Remember me, remember me."
Hell yeah. Look at that. David knows his stuff.
I know it.
You know what? This is just kind of like how with Family Guy, how Family Guy's first 4 seasons were great. And then they brought back the show years later, and it started out pretty good, and then it just started petering out. And that's how I kind of felt.
Pun intended. No pun intended.
No pun intended, but you know what? It's true. Sorry, Peter. It just was not good. But fun fact again, ran for 7 seasons, airing 140 episodes, initially from 1999 to 2003, then revived in 2010 to 2013. So those last 3 years, they weren't that great.
No, it's back now. It's now
and it's back again, and now it's still like I have no desire to go any further than my 99 to 2003. I really don't. But
you're a hard stop at 03. Like, done.
Yep, that's it. Won't go any further.
That's fair.
But it was a great show. I loved it, and I still love it to this day. So, all right, moving on to the next one.
Oh!
And you mentioned it. Yes.
Did you have this queued up?
Yeah.
You already did? Well, I have to tell you, because this is my favorite movie of all time. Number 1, tops everything else. Because when I was 8 years old, it was a school night, and my dad came home. He was a single dad. And I was probably like 10 by this point, or 9. And he came home on a school night, and he's like, "Get ready, get in the car, we're going somewhere." And he didn't tell us what. And we ended up at a 1-screen theater in the corner of our shopping center in our town in Ohio to watch Beetlejuice. And it's the first movie that I remember ever seeing in the theater. So, are you ready for this?
Bring it on.
You might want to extend the video out for a second, because I'm about to pull some stuff off my shelf.
Okay. Let's do this. Hold on. Let me get you solo on here. And how do I get my guest on here solo?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff I have up here on the shelf.
Oh, but go ahead and show it in front of the.
So there's the Beetlejuice Game Boy. First.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. Here's
No, wait, there's
the
more.
only copy I've ever found of a sealed Beetlejuice cassette tape for the soundtrack.
Oh my
Still
God.
sealed.
Wow.
Wait.
There's more.
I don't have one sealed copy of Beetlejuice. I have 3. So this
Oh
is
my
a VHS. I have this copy of Beetlejuice, which is 1993. Then I have these 2 copies, which I had to buy because they have the. Do you see the
Oh,
Gremlins
yeah.
advertise? It's like for a free.
Free
You can
Gizmo.
order Mogwai
Huh.
on the cover. I was like, if this isn't my childhood as a VHS tape, I don't know what is. Those are all sealed up. What else do I have? Oh my God, I've got so much stuff. But anyway, that's my Beetlejuice cred. So there's literally nothing that you could tell me that I don't think that you stump me. Come on, Eugene.
You know what? Let's see. Let me see what my fun facts are. And I gotta find there it is. All right. So the one fun fact that I have on this one is just a little bit of trivia. Beetlejuice's name is spelled actually Beetlegeist, but it's pronounced Beetlejuice. So you have to obviously say his name 3 times. But that's why we hear it in the movie pronounced Beetlegeist.
Do you know what Beetlegeist is?
I have it's a demon, isn't it?
I don't know about that, but it's definitely a star.
Oh yeah, the
I
star
think
in
that's where he got where Tim Burton got the idea for it.
it was it's on the Little Dipper, correct?
I can't. I mean, now you're into astronomy, and
I
you've
stumped
gone
you. There we
beyond
go.
Beetlejuice. You've gone beyond Beetlejuice. Yeah. Let me go ahead. Do one more fun fact, and I want to pull one more thing out for you.
Actually, I don't have any more fun facts. I usually have only about one, but this movie was something that I absolutely loved. And if you guys don't know, they've made part 2. It is coming out, I believe this summer.
In the fall.
Yeah, or this fall. And it's got Michael Keaton. The man is coming back to reprise his role as the ghost with the most, Beetlejuice himself. And Jenna Ortega is in it, which
She's playing Lydia's daughter. Lydia is back. Winona Ryder is back as Lydia, and then Delia is back. Catherine O'Hara, and so it's 3 generations. Justin Theroux is playing. We're not 100% sure yet. I have tons of theories of what the plot is going to be. I think I have an idea.
Right. Let's hear what your idea is.
Well, so from the trailer, if you zoom in on the trailer, they're at his funeral, and it looks like it's Charles Dietz who's died. That's Delia's husband.
Yeah.
And so I think they move back into the farmhouse, and I think the big surprise. I don't have any insider information, so this is all conjecture. I don't want anybody to be mad if this is right or wrong or whatever. They move back in, and I think Delia is also dead, and she won't leave Lydia and Lydia's daughter alone. And so Janet Ortega decides to conjure Beetlejuice to get rid of Delia without Lydia knowing. And that's why Lydia is horrified that Beetlejuice comes up out of the model. And I think that was a little misdirection in the trailer when they had Delia next to them all at the funeral. I think you're going to find out that she's not with them anymore, and she's part of the ghosts. But that's just my theory.
That's a pretty good theory, actually.
I mean, it would be such a fun surprise, right? From the trailer.
It would be. It'd be a fun surprise. Or if it was Delia.
I'm not open to notes, Eugene.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll carry on.
Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking that it may have been Delia that may have called upon Beetlejuice because she's grieving over Charles's death, and that she may want to either communicate or cross over, something like that. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. In the '88 Beetlejuice, Lydia is the one who conjures Beetlejuice to get. Well, it's the Maitlands who conjure Beetlejuice, but Lydia is the one who really connects with him and wants his help to cross over to the other side and that sort of thing.
Yep.
So I would love to see a parallel with Jenna Ortega's character. But it's in good hands. It's in great hands. You saw in the trailer that it was all practical effects, which I think is
Yep.
wonderful. Not a lot of CGI, not a lot of nonsense. But at my signing for Ghostbusters, the actor who puppeteered Slimer from '84 Ghostbusters also was. I got this signed photo. You can see it.
Yes.
Because he was the bottom half. He was the bottom half and the arms of what's his name? Harry, the headhunter here. He played the legs and the arms of Harry. He
Oh,
said that
that's
he was
cool.
in there and he laid like direct, flat on his back while the
Uh-huh.
puppeteers did the head. But these are his real hands and his legs. And so
Oh,
he also played Slimer. So there was yet another Beetlejuice connection from the signing yesterday. I just thought
that's
it was
crazy.
fun.
You know what's funny is that I had the Beetlejuice thing already spooled up, but I only brought it up because I figured I had mentioned before that we were going to do, we had talked about going down that nostalgic rabbit hole and stuff. When I first talked to you, and I thought, you know what, I'll throw this in here. I didn't know you were a huge Beetlejuice
Oh my
fan,
God.
but now that I know, I mean, that's awesome. This
It's
tied
just
in
the
perfectly.
stars aligning. And Dennis, we
Yep.
do see you in the chat, and the Betelgeuse star in the Orion constellation has
Oh,
aligned for us
that's
to talk about my favorite movie of all time. If there was ever a comic tie-in, I have an idea for a TV show and everything. I'm ready to go.
nice.
Ready to go.
All right, we got one more to go through, and this one you may. We were both a little older for about when this movie came about, but it was still a really good movie, and that is Spy Kids, premiered in 2001.
Wait, they're spies, but they're also
And they're
kids?
Yes. What is
This
going
is the
on?
kind of movie that in 2001 you would go into a studio and you'd be like, hold on, you have kids and you have like spies. What if we just did Spy Kids? And then the studios would be like, here's all the bags of money with dollar signs on them. Please go do that right now.
Yep. Because at the same time this came out, we also had like Cody Banks, who was supposed to be a spy kid, come out. We had there was another movie and I can't remember which one it was.
I don't even remember 2001 anything.
We had a
So.
slew of like kids movies that were like either spies or they were like rich and were trying to push against adults. There was all kinds of stuff that was going on during this time, but one of my absolute favorite directors was the one that put this together, which was Robert Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I'm a huge Robert Rodriguez fan. And
I know him mostly from was it Death Proof or was he did the other one?
Yeah, he did Death Proof. Tarantino did what was it, Zombie?
No, I think Robert Rodriguez did the where the girl had the woman had the
the
machine
leg.
gun leg. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that was a Robert Rodriguez. I think Tarantino did the Death Proof.
Death Proof. Yes, you're right. Flip around. So yeah, Rodriguez did that, but he also did the El Mariachi trilogy, which was El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which I loved those movies.
Right.
Those are great movies.
Dennis in the chat asked, Quake, what was the spinoff movie from this? I have no idea, but I'm gonna guess it was Spy Pets. I don't know.
You know what? Honestly, I don't even know either, but I'm sure Dennis will tell us right now because this is my buddy Dennis, who's a veterinarian. He was on the show for a bit too. But let's see. What is
Shark Boy and
Lava Girl.
Yep.
I totally forgot about that movie.
What horrifies me is that these kids that are shown in these pictures right now are now in their mid 30s.
Yeah, I know. It's but Rodriguez wrote and produced, edited. He did the whole shebang for this movie, and then of course it inspired several sequels. So Spy Kids 1, 2, 3, all the way until they changed the kids out and the parents.
The Spy Kids Who Loved Me.
The Spy Kids to Russia with Love.
Yeah, the Spy Kids who were left out in the cold.
and the spy kid with the golden finger. So
Spy Casino Royale.
we can
Too
go
much.
on and on.
Too much. It's too much.
But you guys, that is it for this week in geek history. David, thank you for helping me with this. Let me pull us out of this because I know again we're hitting that mark where we said we'd go. Where's it?
I barely had any fun with that, so let's never do that again, okay?
You are more than welcome to come on again to do another This Week in Geek History, because when I have my co-host David on, we go deep into this. Like we're naming off all kinds. We just go deep into the movie, especially when both of us have seen them. But really quick, let's get out of this segment. And we're back.
What is that audio from?
That is actually from Back to the Future, which was my favorite movie. That's anytime they're doing a transition or starting out a scene, you'll hear.
I love that.
I love. Have you gone to are you a Back to the Future fan?
Yeah, I like them, and it's part of it's part of the zeitgeist.
Yep.
But I'm not like a fanatic about it. So I wanted to leave that for you, Eugene. I wanted to make sure you had your.
I appreciate
the thing.
But actually, over in Burbank, if you go down, is it Victory? You will see the Burger King that Marty skateboards past, and behind it was right where the garage that used to be Doc's house. And in that scene, when you look down the road, you'll see Terry Lumber that's off to the right-hand side, which is now Stock Lumber. And I actually used to go to that place quite a bit to go pick up my lumber for when I was working construction. And I still go down there and just drive down just so we can be like, Back to the Future was filmed. Yes. And then Oh, and then also Twin Pines, the mall that at the beginning of the movie is actually over here in La Puente, which is not too far from me, which I used to go to all the time. So
see, that's what you get when your favorite movie is like based in like reality. When your favorite movie is Beetlejuice, unless you actually visit the afterlife, you're not going to see many of the sets that they filmed in front of.
That's true, but you know what?
Don't get me wrong. I would do the Star Tour of Purgatory. I would be on board with that.
But you got to meet the guy that played the lower half of Harry.
I got to meet half of Harry,
which is awesome.
It really is just. It's a wonderful life, isn't it?
Who knows? You might, and with WonderCon coming up this weekend, which you're going to be at, which is a good segue into it. You might meet some more people from Beetlejuice, because I'm sure they're going to start pushing it now that the trailer has come out. So who knows? You might be able to get out there to premiere.
I mean, what I really want is to be able to write something related to it. So whether it's a comic book or, like I said, I have a fun idea for a TV show that I think would just be so fantastic. So someday, my fandom, as you can see with Ghostbusters and D&D, every once in a while,
they line up,
they meld all together, and then I can actually, really live my fantasy.
But you're going to be at WonderCon this weekend, so let's hear a little bit about that. What booth are you going to be in, or do you know just yet?
So folks can go to my Instagram account. It's at David M. Booher, and I have pinned right there at the top my schedule, because I'm not sure what the booth numbers and things are off the top of my head. I can say I'm doing panels on Friday and Sunday. I'm doing some creator networking on Friday and Sunday, and then I'm doing a signing on Saturday from 12 to 2, and then Sunday from 1 to 3. And I will have very limited number of these beautiful comic books with me, plus Kanto, plus some Killer Queens, plus some D&D. So I'm just going to bring a little sampling of everything, see what folks are interested in. Maybe do a little live streaming. I know that's your territory, so I don't want to
You know what? I honestly wish I could have gotten my media passes for that, but they still think I'm too small. So I'm like, all right, it's cool. But I'm trying to see if
Did
I
you
could.
apply? Did you apply?
Yep.
And they said no. They turned
Yeah.
you back.
Yep. They said, we regret to
Ah,
inform you that because of like numbers and I forgot what else they said. Um, they said that, yeah, just we're not going to
that's
let you know.
it's the worst because you're out there, you're doing it, you're legit, and I'm sure they've approved a lot of people who have not been pounding the pavement the way that you have.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
looks
But
like
Dennis
Dennis
said,
asked if I have played Baldur's Gate 3. I have not, Dennis. I actually, my big dark secret is I'm a huge cartoon D&D cartoon fan, but I actually didn't even start playing D&D until about 2 months ago now. And I played my first campaign, and I was afraid to start because there's monsters. No, I was afraid to start because you have to have the right group, you have to have the right game master, you have to have the right team to play with. And it was a bunch of my friends who are big D&D fans. And the our dungeon master Dave is a professional dungeon master, and he's so great on his feet. And after that first session, I was just like, I could not love this more than what I love right now. It was just creative and cool and fun, and we were like joking around with each other, and it was just the coolest thing. So I've been playing this campaign since, and I am now, like in my heart of hearts, I'm such a D&D fan now, and it's crazy. I never
I
thought I'd be there.
I haven't found a group to be able to play other than with my daughter and her little friends, and I'm the DM, and I'm like, I need to find a
You're
group.
DMing for a group of kids. I think that'd be so fun.
It is fun because they've got, their minds are just full on, going
Crazy.
nuts with the game. Yeah, they're going everywhere. They're like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, okay, let's go for it. You could do that. But it is fun. But I'm dying to finally actually pull out the characters that I've actually rolled, and they're sitting there, and like I have a dragonborn whose name is Stank Breath, and I'm dying to use him in a game. So,
My character is also Dragonborn Sorcerer, and his name is
oh, nice.
Presto.
He's a barbarian, so he's just dumb, and it's great. I'm like, but I'm dying to play with him.
I'll tell you this. This is why I knew I was going to love it, because by the end of our first session with Presto, Dragonborn Sorcerer, he has emotional problems. He has problems sort of handling his emotions. Um, so he's self-conscious uh, and just like nervous all the time. So we were in the sewers, and we ended up decapitating a goblin, and this Presto picked up the severed goblin head and kept it as his emotional support goblin head. So now he has, and we live in this tavern now, and it's just on the mantle. His emotional support goblin head is just sitting on the mantle, and every time he needs a little extra something, he just goes over, gets some confidence, and then moves on.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh god, I wish I could sit in and just listen to you guys
Oh
play
my
because I'm
god!
sure
And
it's
I've had to
fun.
miss some sessions, so the rest of the team always makes my penance for missing for my character. It's always some new and fresh hell. This is how we start the next session.
Oh,
This
that's
last time,
funny.
I was buried alive. And I
Oh,
was like, "How do I get out of this? How do I? What does it smell like? What is it? What can I see anything? Can I move around? Can I kick out or do anything?" And it was like 5 or 10 minutes of me trying to figure out what was going on in this thing. And I said, "Well, finally, I panic and I just pound the top, and it just pops right off." And outside, the rest of the team are sitting in chairs, just laughing hysterically because they made it seem like I was buried alive, but it was just my penance for having missed the previous week's session.
oh, wow, that's funny though.
They're the best. They're the best.
It,
I love them.
it is a great game, and there's a lot that people are starting to do with the game when it comes to, you mentioning emotional support Goblin Head, but I do follow somebody she does she's a DM, and she uses it to help women who have been in abusive relationships to be able to find that emotion and the courage to let out a lot of it and also move on and move forward. So
It's interesting.
D&D,
Yeah.
yeah, it's now becoming a great tool to use with people that have anxiety, that have, all these things that may be going on, because you're not yourself in the game. You're somebody
Sure.
else. And you
Sure.
can just let it all out and just have fun with it. And then you start to become, even those that are a little bit socially awkward, which we've seen those guys that are playing D&D.
It's me.
Even though I put on a great show right now, trust me, when I walk away, I'm just like, all right, yeah.
Just flat on my face.
Just lay there.
Off screen, boom, done.
But yeah, so there's a lot to it, and it's awesome that you're getting into it now.
I did.
But again, yeah, no pun intended.
It's a double-edged sword. It sure is, Dennis. And when you have two edges to that sword, you can kill twice as many enemies.
Take down as many goblins as you can with that sword.
Mm-hmm.
But David, I know you got to go because you've got a crazy weekend coming up, starting tomorrow all the way until Sunday. You guys, let's start off with, if you have not read any of his comics, get out to your local comic book stores and the small indie bookstores. Pick up everything that he has, everything from Kanto to Saturday morning Adventures, Dungeons and Dragons, and even his older stuff. Like, because I saw the Firefly. I know you did a short run of Firefly, correct?
What was that? It didn't feel short at the time. I actually got to do like 11 issues, so three volumes of Firefly, and I'm among many other things that we've already talked about. I'm a big Browncoat fan, so
am I, big time. I have all the pop figures. I have
I have them. Can you see them up here?
Up top? Oh, they're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are all my pops.
Oh, yeah. If I showed you my wall of pops, you'd be like, "Oh my god, this is nothing. This is just this is." I would.
Yep, I'd be showing up at your doorstep.
Oh, I have. It's about 8 feet tall, and it's about 8 feet wide, and it's just shelf after shelf after shelf of pops. So,
oh my god.
Yeah, we've gotten a little crazy here, and along with that,
I also out of control. It Word is on the street. Some people are saying it's out of control. I would never say that. But
he's seen my wall, but yeah. So you guys get over to WonderCon this weekend. If you haven't bought a ticket, their tickets are still on sale. I think you can get Saturday single day and Sunday single days and Fridays. They're only single days. I think the full passes are sold, but
and they will be sold out. I mean, it will be sold out by tomorrow, probably for Saturday. So.
Yeah. So get over there, check it out. WonderCon is always an awesome event to go to, but get over to David's booth, say hi. If you guys are watching this and you go and say hi, tell him, let him know that I sent you, and he's going to shake your hand and say thanks. But at least
that's right.
We know that you're watching, that you watched this episode, so that's a good thing.
I love that.
And then, David, tell us how we can find you on the interwebs.
Sure. If you want to venture out into the great virtual wilderness, you can find me on Instagram mostly. It's at David M. Booher. And like I said, I posted my schedule and it's pinned up right there on my profile. So if you just tap on my profile, you'll be able to see where I am for the whole weekend if you're there. You can find me on Facebook if that's more your speed. I'm on the website formerly known as Twitter, at David Booher. I'm on Threads, I'm on Blue Sky. It's like woofing everything out and it's just exhausting. So I really do Instagram, but my big other thing that I do is Whatnot. So any Whatnot users out there, if you want to try Whatnot, it's like Instagram Live meets eBay. I have a lot of followers on Whatnot. I do a lot of streaming, not only for my own comics. Every time they come out, I'll have signed copies available for folks. But in addition to that, sometimes I offer little remarks where I'm scribbling on them, drawing pictures. But then also I do a lot in the retro video game space because I'm a big Nintendo head. So as I'm going through this whole episode of talking to you, Gene, I'm like, I'm into a lot of things. I have passion for a lot of things, but it all comes back to the 80s, right?
It does. And so it just shows it, as much as some people think it's a bad thing to be called this, but you're a true geek and a collector. And you have a
Yeah,
lot of love for culture and nostalgia.
I'm not just dipping my toe into this, geekdom. I am a full-fledged card-carrying member of it. So yeah, if you go on Whatnot, it's at David Booher, and I do streams basically weekly. And you never know. You never know what's going to show up on my stream. I just sold many video games last week for many dollars. So some good stuff can pop out of the woodwork. I'm going to
Hey,
steal a bunch of Eugene's high end pops and put them on Whatnot. So folks are going to want to see that, right?
you can by all means try to put those things up there. I mean, it's a large collection and a lot of high end ones in there. But have you ever heard of Lost Level? It's a video game
Uh-huh.
shop and video games place. You have?
Yeah.
We have one over here in Montclair or in Claremont, and then the one in Fullerton. I got to get over there and play some games.
Sure, of course. I mean, playing those stand-up retro games at the arcade is just like,
Oh, it's so much
why would
fun.
you want to do anything else?
I know. There's nothing else. It's kids don't get it. They just don't get it. It costs money to play those games.
They got their Roblox. They're fine.
Oh God, let's not go into that. But all right, David, you know what? I'm going to let you go so you can get a good night's rest for tomorrow. Actually, just for the whole weekend, because you probably won't get much after this until Monday.
I mean, if it's going well.
Yeah, if it's going well. And it will. I know it will. But if I get a chance to get out there, I'm going to try to get out there to at least say hi and maybe pick up another issue of Kanto, because I'm serious. I got to finish off everything. But
Gotta get those hardcovers, man. Starting in June. Beautiful.
I saw the
hardcovers
picture of
for your
those.
shelf.
I saw the picture of them, and I'm like, yeah, they look cool. Look nice.
We've seen the inside. There's all new back material. There's all new covers. And they're all going to be beautiful. They're going to match. We're trying to work on some slipcase type things so that we can all have slipcases in there.
Oh, that's so
It'll be
cool.
great.
All right, David, then I'm going to let you go. You have a good night. Thanks for coming on. And I hope you come back. Please come back to this
We'll
wonderful
see.
show.
Yes, of course. I would love to. I love that deep dive into, just you pick the most random things and I'll see if I can find a way to talk about it.
Oh, I'll do that. I will. We'll have a deep dive into even like are you a big fan of like really bad movies?
Sure.
Go on to Tubi,
You mean
click on their cult classic like movies. And
Mhm.
if you look through that, scroll through it for a little bit, I've pretty much seen every single movie that's in there.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm bad. I have a lot of time on my hands.
I love it.
But
Awesome. Well, thank
all
you
right,
so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to let you go now, and then I'm going to finish out the show. But if you want to go ahead and close out, go for it. But you have a good night, David.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Now, there's a lot of me again. Whoo, look at that face. That is not a face. That's a face only a mother would love. Dennis, thanks for coming on, man. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to see a lot of your comments because I'm all by myself, and it's how it. Dude, you've done a podcast with me. You know how I work. I have a hard time going back and forth between everything. We're lucky that I even get these little like this week in geek history up. Oh, excuse me. But everybody, okay. I'm going to close out for tonight. I've got an ice cream that is waiting for me, and I've been dying to go get my hands on it because it's a blizzard. And, by the way, the show is brought to you by Dairy Queen. No, it's not. I just like, I like Dairy Queen, and I got one tonight, and I'm really excited. They actually brought back the frosted animal cookie blizzard. So good. So good. Did you bring enough for the class? Nope. Hell no, dude. When would I ever do that? Bring enough for a class? Come on. Shh. But anyways, guys, it was really cool to have David on. the whole Beetlejuice thing, it literally was just by chance that I was doing that. I just threw it on there and then lost lights over here, lost my light over here. This is my, what do you call it? My Ulanzi one light. It's actually really cool. And this is the first time I'm actually showing it on camera. Looks like a lightsaber. Well, let's see if it turns on. Whoa, freaking, look at that. Samuel Jackson Holmes. I forgot his name. Anyways, it's a great light. It has an LED in the back. And you change different modes. It has modes. It has RBG. It has just standard light. And yeah, they're great. I like these because they're really, I mean, obviously you see they're not that big. And battery died on it, but because I haven't charged it. Oh, I was just trying something new today. Here's the other one. I got another one. But yeah, it's a great light, and you could actually has a pin to actually put it onto what do you call it? A stand. And yeah. I don't know. Wait, what? I don't know about lightsaber, but it looks like something. Hey, when it's like this, it looks like a lightsaber. When it's like this, yeah, it looks like something else. Sorry. That's all I had to say about that. But yeah, they're great lights from Ulanzi. Again, I can't show you guys the other ring lights that I do have from them also, but all great products. But I don't need to talk about that. And again, if you guys want to get, I got to stand up on my tippy toes. If you're looking to get one of these shirts, hit me up. $20 a shirt. And they're great. I mean, it's actually, I'm not going to lie, but I was the one that helped design this one. So yeah, there you go. We also, like I said, we have a Transformers one. We also have our standard Geek Saga shirts, what I don't have on me right here. We have our basic logo, which is like the logo that's up in the corner with the dog tag and it says the Geek Saga. We have a Back to the Future looking logo that says the Geek Saga. We have the Where's the Beef Woman saying Where's the Geeks? And on the back it says the Geek Saga. We have shirts like that. I'm going to be posting up pictures of those up on Instagram. Wearables, if you're still watching. No, he's not. But I'm going to hit him up and I'm going to send him out one of these shirts so he can take a look at probably our Geek Saga shirts too, because he likes to wear stuff that's geeky. But enough of that, guys. Again, David Booher, awesome dude. Seriously awesome dude. Huge geek like the rest of us. And get the hardcovers. Get over to your local comic store, local bookstore, like you said, and they will have the Kanto hardcovers. I'm going to get my copy. And like I said, I do have his comic books. I just don't have them. I have a stack of comic books right here that I got to go through. If you're looking to go to, here's something. Here's a little nostalgia for you guys. Thundercats. Yeah, I picked up issue number 13 from We Can Be Heroes. If you guys are looking for a comic book store, it's in the Chatsworth area. So if you're in the LA area, it's a lot closer for you guys out there. You can definitely take a look at that. Jessica, awesome. All right. I will have that shirt for you guys. And tomorrow, I won't be there till Saturday. Well, I mean, you guys are going to be there. So I'll be there Saturday. I'll have his shirt. But sorry, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, get out to WonderCon, guys. Go say hi to David. I'm really going to try to get out there. I just spent a good chunk of money to get a collectible, actually 2 of them. And I think my WonderCon money just went to that. So also, you guys, if you are in the Idaho, the Boise, Idaho area. Hey, did my light come on? Oh. Stupid thing. I got to fix those. we are going to be actually at Gem State. Gem State Con is coming up, not this weekend, but the next weekend, April 6th through the 7th. It'll be held at the, I should have had that information already up. Look at me. This is what happens when you're all alone. Never leave me alone. It's bad. I usually need an adult supervision. It's at the Expo Idaho. What? Expo Idaho. That's what it says. Expo Idaho in Boise, Idaho. We will be there, or I will be there along with Distance Nerding. We're doing a joint thing there. I'm really excited. I get to meet two people that I'm like. Sean Astin will be there, and I'm hoping to be able to be on the panel with him. If not, at least say what's up and talk to him. Also, Colin Baker. If you guys don't know who he is, then you are not a Whovian. Go back and watch some Doctor Who. But he's going to be there. I get a chance to meet him. Oh my God, I'm excited about that too. They've got a lot of other great guests that are going to be out there. Mary, I just saw them have her on the show, and I'm about, like always, butcher names, but I don't want to. So that will be Mary Westbrook. I was right. Mary Westbrook, she's a voice actress that has been on a ton of Star Wars projects and a lot of other great things. Distance Nerding just had her on their show not too long ago. She will be there also live. I will be live streaming from the event the whole weekend. It's not just me live streaming, but I'll have the guys, we'll have the panels up on the live stream, and we'll be doing some of our little bits within our own booth and also talking to the people of the event. So we're going to be pretty busy. I'm driving up there. How crazy is that? Not flying. I'm driving. It's going to be a long, long weekend, but I'm excited. So, all right, guys, again, you can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube at the Geek Saga, or go to our website at thegeeksaga.com. Also, if you guys have any suggestions, events that you want us to maybe attend or promote, let us know at thegeeksaga20@gmail.com. That's the best place, or it's a good way to get a hold of us, but Instagram is actually a lot better. I'm checking that constantly. Obviously, reposting stuff for friends of ours and posting up our own stuff, but I check the DMs quite a bit. So hit us up, let us know, and we'll, let you guys know if it's something that we will promote. And if you see us out there at a shop or whatever, me or David, my co-host David, who's not on tonight, but say what's up. Let us know you're watching. Let us know if you got any suggestions. We would love to, I'll even take a picture with you. And yeah, so, all right, guys, that's it for me. And I will see you guys next week. We'll be back at our right time, which is, well, not right time, but right day, which is Wednesday at 7:30. And next week, I will be having two guests coming on to join us, which is Ash from Commex. It's a great podcast out there. You guys should check that out. And also, I will be having the man, the beard, Graveyard from We Mostly Pod at Night, mostly. And it's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to just have him on the show and we're just going to go through our whole thing from our news from our This Week in Geek History to news and just run it. Great guys. A lot of fun to be on with and talk to. So I will see you guys next week. And thanks for everybody that came on tonight and watching. I know some of you guys came on a little late into the show, and because it's, again, not our normal day. It is our normal time, but not our normal day. So with that, guys, I'm going to say, for me, for my co-host David, my wonderful co-host David, we always continue going forward with this in this Geek Saga, and for the rest of you guys, keep going, and the saga continues.